PM, I'll call the meeting to order. And we'll take up the business that we need to take up. I talked to the other member of the board earlier today, and I thought she was coming. She was planning to come, so we'll see what happens. Bills,
Just one.
just the superintendent's bill. And we got one, is this one burial or two?
Two
This is
ashes.
two ashes.
Yeah. Ronnie and,
Who?
Ronnie Ackle.
Oh, you did Ronnie's?
Yeah, Ronnie's and
Betty Lou?
Betty Lou.
In looking through some of Eddie Hoffman's pictures, he's been scanning stuff and so forth, so we've
Yep.
got a bunch of them that are electronic now. But I found a lovely picture of Betty Lou and Frank as a baby standing in front of the store building.
With Bob Harmon.
Bob? There was somebody else in it. It could be Bob.
Because there's one, Eddie Monte has one in the store.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, and that's the one. There is somebody else in it, and that's, but I thought, that's something good. When I've got it, I get an email for Frank and send it to him.
Yeah, they'd like that. Because he might not have any.
Of that, he might not. Betty Lou and his father were living at the store when he was born.
Yep. I remember.
But that didn't last more than about 10 minutes after he was born.
Okay.
They divided up shortly after he was born. Well, this looks all right, and I will, I'll discuss it with, so they did Ronnie, did they do anything, or they just had you
Just,
put it in the ground?
just basically put it in the ground.
Yeah.
Uh,
Scott and Brett both come?
Yep.
I thought I might hear about it if they were gonna do it, but
Well,
I knew it was hanging, so.
I saw Scott in the store one day and I gave him my phone number and he called me called me the middle of the week and said,
Yeah.
I says, okay. Because he wanted to
They wanted to get it done.
decided they were gonna get it done, so,
Well, they got the house sold,
yes.
and new people are in it and so forth, and so they're they were so overwhelmed with trying to deal with that and all the stuff in it that it was,
I know what it's like.
yes, you do. Yes, you do. And theirs wasn't accumulated over quite such a long time, but they had people that were systematic accumulators.
Yes, oh, I know.
So, at any rate, that's, yeah, that's fine. All right, that bill is fine, and I'll sign this. And Bernard will sign it either here or later.
Okay.
Do you have this copied already or
No.
no? No, okay,
No.
so I'll make sure I copy it before I put it in. There's probably, are there other matters that you have to bring before us in business that we need to do anything with?
Well, I was down and marked a bunch of shrubs down to the south to get taken out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna, and I've got talked to a couple other people about getting hold of relatives to decide if they want them or not, or.
Are they gonna take care of them, or are they?
Or not, and
They wanna get rid of
really need to. I think the person I talked to was more, they kinda needed to come out,
Yeah,
cause they're too big.
oh, yeah.
They've gone
Oh, yeah.
past their
Oh, yeah.
life
Did they,
expectancy.
did the ones next to the, oh God, I have to come up with names, and then I can't remember what I wanna say. Louis Rose, did that?
Those
one-
are marked.
That one got, they're marked? They
The
had
ones,
sent
the other
out yet?
ones, I marked those, I marked
Yeah,
the one over at Hope's and
yeah,
quite a few others that got marked. The stuff out front that's going in the main drive is coming out, those three that are right there when you, on the wall, those
yeah,
big, they're just overgrown. They just,
yeah,
they need, it's time,
that's all, that's all.
it's time.
People keep them trimmed well, they can stay a lot longer, but if they don't,
Well, that woman, True Davis, take care of hers,
yeah,
and she actually was down within the last month and trimmed them all up again.
yeah,
I saw her there, so they're all trimmed up, so I know the people that take care of their
yes,
shrubs.
there are people that take care of them.
Come in and take care of them,
It makes all the difference in the world.
and that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay, that's good, that's something good, and we had hopes for action on the driveways, but now I guess.
No, they didn't, the
Too
guy.
late.
Yeah, well, he never got back, he must have, yeah, speculation between it was he must have got so busy that
Yeah, it's a 3-year contract, so they still got next year to do it,
Yeah.
so. Maybe if we're lucky, they'll get it done before the end of June, so we can clear at least one of those accounts out.
yeah, yeah,
At any rate, that's, yeah, I was, really hoping that would get done, cause we actually had some indication it might, so.
yeah, well, it's still going
But,
forward, so.
Oh, yeah, it'll go forward, but it's just a matter of when. Okay, so we gotta do the budget for next year. Now, we submitted exactly the same budget last year we had the year before.
Yep.
And offhand, I don't know any reason we need to change it.
No,
They've said level fund, so therefore we can't ask for more anyway, and it's a matter of what it's,
going for.
what it's going for, and I don't need to do more in that regard. Gasoline we put up because the price was up, now it's down, but
Yeah.
I mean, we could take a little off of it, and, but you're
Well-
talking about dicking around with a couple of numbers that don't amount to anything, so.
No,
My answer is,
and it could jump back up again,
it could come back any, there's a fair chance it will with what so-and-so wants to do. So, we could fuss with numbers a little, but it's just gonna be trading them around between accounts.
moving,
and-
shuffling them.
For the sake of shuffling, I mean, it's just, I don't, we didn't change our rate for contracted services this year,
No,
and therefore I don't have to adjust that on any other reason, because we didn't do a raise and we didn't do, and our digger didn't change it this year,
No.
so my thought is that can stay the same, and then therefore most everything else can too.
and he's only done 3 this calendar year,
Oh, yeah, we haven't done,
and he did 3 last year too, so,
that's all?
yeah.
Last year? Well,
I think he's mad at the whole.
cremation is taken over, that's all.
family. Yeah, I think he's mad at the whole family.
Hmm?
He's mad at the family.
He's mad at the family?
Yeah, 'cause we all keep getting cremated on him.
Well, if it's his family, that's his problem,
That's exactly it.
not mine. But that's all right. Was Roger a full?
Yeah.
Roger was a full,
Him, Helen, Nancy was too, a
Yeah.
full.
yeah.
My sister was a full.
Hmm?
My sister was a full.
Yes,
Yeah,
your sister
full.
was a full. Yeah. But, no, that's all fine. Did you bury Ronnie on top of Elma, or did you bury him?
Yes, yep. Yeah, that's what
They're on
Scott
the
and
same
I,
grave,
yeah, and Scott and I talked
so
about
they've
that.
still got one.
Yep. And I mentioned a few scenarios to him, and they kinda didn't know what Brett wanted to do, so.
Yeah.
Some people don't always discuss that subject till,
Well, no,
It's
I mean,
time.
yeah, and I mean, you know, you make plans for a cremation or whatever, and then you don't necessarily have
option.
well, you don't necessarily consider what the options might be with
Yeah.
the other business, and the fact that once you've used the grave, you can still put cremations
Yeah.
on top. And, I explained out a bunch of that to Betty's family. And, I said, you got all kinds of possibles. They still got 3 graves there, and they only got 1 cremation in one of them. And there's no reason they can't put more, however they want to.
Whatever they wanna do.
And, so that's all fine. Now, I had a nice talk with Tom, and I had a talk with each of the kids too, each of Betty's kids as well. In one place and another, some of them more than others, and, that was good. So, motion to submit the same budget?
We're making the motion to submit the same
Okay.
level funded.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Well, if we have had that few full burials, we've got money in the contracted services line that we can spend
Something else.
on other things.
It's fiscal 2026, right? This budget,
Hmm?
new budget, fiscal 2026.
Fiscal 2026,
Okay.
and it's $16,059. 16,059. Today's the 19th, right?
Yes.
Well, there's that, and I'll make a couple of copies and pass it in. I have seen Walker Mowers working across the street from me.
Yeah, because they're doing leaves. I saw him too. Because I think there's one they had with a bag of broke, the transmission's out of it.
I figured it might be that, but I saw him a couple of different times that I saw one over there working. wearing out our mowers, so we'll
Yeah.
buy more. But I'll watch next year. See whether they appear at other times or not.
Mm-hmm.
I figured it might have to do with picking up leaves and stuff. But I wasn't thrilled.
Yeah.
Uh, And the note that I put in with it last year said, accepting the guidance of a level-funded budget, expense budget, we've submitted the same budget. We made some significant changes, and thus far, the present budget is tracking well enough. We see no reason to change it. That's a little different. But then I put on this business and how we reallocate funds from accounts as we see how the number of burials are and those kinds of things. And some we can shift to other needed maintenance and so on.
Yep. Okay.
So I may change the sentence here, but other than that, I'll
Put in the same thing.
put in the same thing.
And that's gotta be in by the 29th?
Yeah,
This
that's
has to
gotta
be in by the
this month.
29th. 10 days.
But I think I did this in the computer here anyway and printed it out, so I'll go sit in there.
And change it.
Our stuff has been moved over into the big room over there.
I saw that. I came up one day for something and I looked in, I goes, oops, and someone told me they had moved it and I saw it, cause I says, it was actually, might have been Ken told me they moved it. I says, all our records are in there.
About a week ago, I came in to do something on the computer and and they had the door locked. I said, what? So I looked around and found it, so then I went and did my business. And the file cabinet is right next to it, so
Yep.
our stuff is together. I'm not pleased, but that's the way
Actually,
it is.
Auxiliary had their stuff in there too and that got moved.
Yeah. Those were about the only two that had stuff in there at that point,
Yeah.
I think. When they moved all that other stuff out of here, they put it all, they brought some in here and then they took it all over there. And, that's made that room a lot less
Roomy.
friendly for some other things, but life is like that. I mean,
A lot less roomy.
well, in order to give the accountant more space, they had to do something, and they could have given them half of that room, but then they'd have to put up a wall
Yeah, it's not, it's,
and change the wiring, and, I mean, there's all kinds of things that go into it, and they just said, with it, we'll give them that room,
yeah, you make a big expense out of it.
and of course, all their files were in that other room before, so they moved them all in here, so
Yeah.
they had them in their office, and took all the other stuff and put it in the other place, but it kinda nuts. But that's all right, that's what they did, and I can't say that it is bad, except they've got an office downstairs that belonged to the person that now has this office.
Well,
Some of us wouldn't mind being downstairs, but
yeah,
for some reason or other, they've decided this person has to be upstairs after they've been downstairs for years, but.
well, maybe they would think maybe it'll be more, people might be more apt to
I don't know.
visit.
It may be that, and it may also be that there isn't somebody working alone in a part of the building where they're far from everybody else.
That's safety factor.
And there's a security factor for that, especially for females.
Yes, yeah, safety factor.
So, and that's that business. This other thing, the mower thing. When I started to look at this today, I throw up my hands because there's just so much paperwork. I hate these forms. Department, cemetery. Project title. New gas-powered mower. Walker mower. Phone number, I'm gonna put yours down because you're the one that knows more about mowers.
Okay.
And that's 978
618
618.
6314.
Email,
No, well, I do. If I can. Okay. Can you see that?
robert.giles1@icloud.com. Robert dot Guild 1 at iCloud
Com.
.com. Purchase of request. Replacement. Department priority ranking, very high, high, medium, low.
Well, I would say high because of the age and the cost and the maintenance and, well,
I'm gonna put high. Was this submitted last year? No. Total project request. We said something last month.
16,500.
16,000?
500.
16,500, yeah. Cost estimate from vendor. Department priority, risk to public safety, health, deterioration of found. I guess that's deterioration of town facilities.
Well,
Estimated life, is it 10 or 15?
for the mowers,
Yeah.
well, that one's 25 years old. The first diesel we have is actually 12 years old, and then the other one is one's a 2013. So I would estimate it to be
20?
15 to 20 years. I would estimate it to be life expectancy. 15 years ago. I mean, the other one we've had for 20, and we bought it used. It was 5 years old. It's a 2000.
The one that we bought, the first one we bought new?
No, the first walker we bought was
Yes.
used.
Was used.
It's the one you're replacing,
And
which
that's
is
the
the gas.
one we're replacing now.
Yes,
And we've had it for 20 years.
20 years. It'll be 25 years old next year.
We've had it 25 years.
20 years.
We've had it 20 years.
20 years.
Okay.
I'd say 15 to 20 years. And
I have to say one or the other.
I'd
I
say
guess-
20.
Say 20. We're gonna hope for 20.
Well, if you more mowers it,
Yeah.
it's not gonna get warm. I mean, for sometimes that's the only one we had.
Oh, God, that one we've used and used and used
Yeah.
and used and used and used and used. And a lot of its life, that's the only one we were using.
Yep.
Now, that's that. This is the estimate that goes with it. Project cost, equipment and furnishings is the full amount. Design, engineering, construction, site acquisition, site improvements, feasibility study, other.
What the hell do you mean by that? Well,
Proposed funding source, taxation, capital outlay.
it's not bond, it's not mitigation funding, it's not community
No,
preservation.
this is a free cash or taxation, one or the other. I don't know. That's up to them.
Yeah.
This is to replace a similar unit we purchased used 20 years ago. It has given excellent service. Repairs and parts have been expensive in recent years. Since Highway took over mowing, they often have 2 or more working on-site at the same time. Hence, we know that having this third mower available helps efficiency.
Yeah.
That's
Gets the,
it in a nutshell, isn't it?
yeah, and it gives you backup or extra, or, and sometimes they have 3 kids this year, so
Oh, yeah,
they're
oh,
all
yeah,
getting it done.
yeah. And,
Plus you,
I don't, this, to me, this is not our business, that's the
That's
finance
theirs.
committee's business.
I'd leave it blank.
Impact on budgets, I don't think that it's going to change those.
No. That'll go with it.
16102.
We went 16.5 just because,
Hmm? We added $400 to cover unanticipated change in price next year.
yep,
That's,
exactly why we did it.
oh, there's that. And we'll submit it, and whatever happens, happens. Okay. Is there any other business?
Nope, I don't have any.
We've adopted a budget for next year, and we've made out the capital improvement request form, which probably won't be funded this year, but that's all right. At least we've done it. And they'll have it in file, and we'll submit it again next year if need be, whatever. In that case, motion to adjourn,
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.